co-producer of this program, Let Them Talk, Joni Musi, couldn't be with us this week. She is plans to be back and should be back pretty soon.
She's in Iraq?
And she's not in Iraq.
Okay.
Almost. Washington, D.C. Close to Pittsburgh and Washington, D.C. But she plays a role in this as well. And I'd be amiss if we didn't talk about her role.
Oh, well.
What is Joni Musi's role?
Joni Musi plays the generals, who happens to be a dwarf and a fine actor, very funny. She plays his wife. It's sort of, a trophy wife. Now, what he doesn't know is that his favorite colonel, the good-looking, handsome ingenue-type colonel, complete with a very, a chic outfit. He wears a scarf at all times, a pair of shades. Right. Is, to put it in the vernacular...
Patinesque.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
To put it in the vernacular, he's kind of banging, or rather, she's banging the general's wife. Now, he doesn't know this.
There she is now. There's Joni.
There's Joni right
She's
behind
absolutely luscious in this film.
She's luscious, yes. There she is behind us. She's
Very,
with us
very
in
funny.
image.
Well, she's wonderful.
Yeah, she's great.
Now, when the general finds out, with his help, who it is that's sleeping with his wife.
Because I'm a rat.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, he's no good. He squeals to the general. Not only does he squeal, he takes photographs. The general is confronted with the truth, and he yells, "I'll have that son of a bitch shot. Like my son. I treat him like my son. Look what he's done." No. So she comes in before the execution. Of course, the execution is guaranteed to take place. She comes in and pleads for his wife. And the general says no. No, no, no. Being a gentleman, however, he gives her one last night with the colonel. All right? And the two of them are so happy to be, at least for one more night, together.
Sure.
In the morning, the good-looking colonel asks the guy, the sergeant in charge, if he happens to have an accordion in the place. And the sergeant says, "Why, yes, I do. As a matter of fact, it belongs to my uncle." So may I have it? And he plays a duet to which he dances along with Joni. And when it's all over, he blows her a kiss, or she blows him a kiss, or something or other. And he goes off to be executed. And the last thing he says, as he lies, rather slides down against the wall of blood, is, "And Joni," it's so wonderful. Every time I see it, I choke up, right? However, as he lays there, or as it lies there, I always forget. One is an intransitive verb, the other is, as he's at the bottom of the screen, so to speak, all right? Who shows up but this colonel, complete with the other colonel's scarf.
And glasses, I think. I think I may have had his glasses on, too, at that point.
Yeah, the shades, yeah. And he throws, drapes that scarf around his neck and he walks off with her.
Uh-huh.
Now, at that moment, he's about to, get the payoff, so to speak. There's a knock on the door. He goes to the door, and there's a rabbi there. And the guy says, "Pardon me, the name is Rabbi Shur, Shlomo's half-brother, the other rabbi. And if I'm taking up too much time, I'll be glad to shut up."
No, go right ahead.
Oh, okay. He says, I have some information I'd like to give you. First, God is on our side now. Don't you think, as a colonel in the army, don't you think now God is on our side? All my life, everybody said the other half-brother is the smart rabbi. I'm the smart rabbi. He's a schmuck. He doesn't know what he's like. The great prayer offensive that made God come over to our side. Not a bad idea for him, but my idea is much better. Now God is on our side. We should have a real offensive and kick the shit out of the other side. The colonel, not being the quickest on his feet, right, says, "Get out of here, get lost, you're really crazy." And so I leave, and he tells Joni what he was just told by the rabbi. And Joni, who was a lot smarter than he is, says, "If you tell that to my husband, he'll make you a general." And sure enough, the next day he tells him. And the general says, "That's a brilliant idea." Turns a couple of stars on and puts in charge of the grand build-up, all right, which culminates in the war to end all wars and battle to end all wars. You know, the explosion ultimately of a nuclear device, or call it what they
Give
were.
away the picture.
They don't want to do that.
No, you want them to come
Oh,
see it this weekend.
Oh, they tell me to shut
He
up.
just told you the whole plot, so maybe you guys, the weather's going to be nice. You might want to get out of town for the
playing
weekend.
behind us, but without any sound. But you can get sort of an idea. But I still think you should see the movie because I've seen the film, and on the big screen, there's nothing like the big screen. You
Why don't you tell me to shut up? Jesus.
Yeah.
I did.
Well, why don't we change the subject? You were telling, that's fine. Why don't we talk about your other movie, The Electric Chair? Since we blew one, let's blow the other one. What is the other feature, The Electric Chair, about?
The Electric Chair is about a guy, a comic who's having a very bad day, culminating in a kind of nightmare, you know, a comic's nightmare where nothing he says is funny. And he sees himself playing in front of an audience of his father, his mother, himself as a young boy. And in the meantime, wandering around a strange island is his friend. They've had a fight over his wife. And that's as much as I want to give away.
Okay. The Electric
It's
Chair.
played by the late Vic Argo, though. Terrific performance.
Victor Argo, one of
Just,
Scorsese's.
oh yeah, just a great performance and a cool movie.
Okay. Nick Taylor, who played in the movie God is on the Other Side, speaking right now. Marcus Eisentein, who created both movies that we're discussing right now. And Rob, you're the Rob Hauschild. You're the distributor. How did you come to hook up with these gentlemen?
Well, interesting. I worked on God is on Our Side.
Hope I'm not giving anything away.
No, I won't give away anything. In a small capacity, production assistant, a little assistant
You were
directing.
very helpful.
At some point, no, thank you. And that was over 10 years ago. And in the meantime, I had about 2 years ago, with a good friend of mine, we had started a releasing company called Wild Eye, which does some light theatrical releases and DVD. And Marcus and I had gotten back in touch through a mutual friend. A former student of yours, and we started talking about his two films and why weren't they out? Because they're so eclectic and unique, and Marcus is a true outsider artist working right here in the city,
Right.
and no one's seeing his movies, so they should be out on DVD. And we did work with the Pioneer Theater to get this two-night screening, and they're a great theater to work with.
Is the DVD available?
No, not yet.
Not yet,
No,
but will it
this
be
is the
available?
beginning. It will be eventually. We're going to do a full DVD.
Cover? I think I just had a copy of it right here. Let me show folks. Here's a copy of the video. Let's see. This is the DVD we have right now. I don't know if folks can make it out. I know there's not that much light like that. Maybe you can see it. And there's now God. Let's go back to God. Buster Poindexter plays God in this film, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about how he got involved. How did Buster Poindexter get involved in the musician?
You really
This
don't
guy
know.
talks too much, so I'm going to talk
Yeah,
now.
you tell us about that.
Basically, Mark used to hang out at the Westway Diner with Tony Machine, who was David Johansen's drummer for many years. And they were pitching the idea, and Tony Machine was interested in getting involved with acting. And he said, Mark, I think I can get Buster interested in this project. And sure enough, he got Johansen interested in the project, and the rest is cinema history.
How does he? How does he? How did he like the movie? How
He
did Buster
liked it.
Poindexter?
He liked it. He thought it was really cool. He liked it. Yeah,
Great.
He was proud of it.
You had shown him storyboards, and that's what got him
Oh,
interested.
yeah.
Right.
You had mentioned it
Well,
to him,
yeah.
he said, well, show
Well,
me something, and you made
Yeah,
storyboards.
Tony
and he was-
Machine, I approached him through Tony Machine, who introduced me to him at dinner one time. And he said he was very interested. I didn't hear anything from him for about 6 weeks. So I asked Bobby Faust, who knew him, you know, like the guy said he wants to do it, but I don't hear anything. And Faust told me, draw up a storyboard and drop it off with him. So she said, well, like a charm. I drew up a storyboard, and like 2 days later, I got a call from Johansen saying, I'm your man.